I'd like to introduce David Dickinson now, who's going to talk to us about the ABC of Wellness and Wealth in Haughton Green. For those who don't know, this practice is in two sites, one in Hyde and one in Haughton Green. David lives in Haughton Green and has done a lot of work there.
Hello. First of all, I'm going to explain some things that Dr. Haughton said it's fine for me to talk about. It's a little bit outside the remit that you would normally expect for a discussion like this, but I hope it's relevant. I think it is from the previous presentations. So I want to cover very quickly about Haughton Green and the Haughton Vale Medical Centre, just to give you a sense of where it is, what it's about. I'm involved in a major international project, and I think that it will provide opportunities for Haughton Green, though I don't believe in making big promises and then failing to deliver, so I'm being a little bit circumspect about that. And it's also how it fits into my role at Gorton Monastery, which is a pro bono role, but it's looking after health and social care. And I've called it the ABCD of Wellness and Wealth. And ABCD is asset-based community development. You've probably come across that expression before. And my day job is an information strategist, and I've been working with information in citizen-centric access, first in health at the Department of Education, then in employability on European projects, and then more recently on health and health informatics. And I'm also involved with the Digital Collaboration Board as the patient member for Greater Manchester. And there are things that I'm going to talk about here where I think there is a certain law of unintended consequences that's about to be thrusting itself upon us if we don't get it sorted out. So there's the Haughton Vale Centre on a very sunny day, and yes, I just popped in on the way past, and you can see though it's not in a wonderfully salubrious area. It's a lovely building, fascinating place, Haughton Green, because it started off as quite a gentrified village, and then when they cleared the houses in central Manchester, they put in the high-rise flats and some homes as well. Now, I think the integration has been quite good, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some problems there. So we've got a very low qualification level for the community. It's low income and poor choices very often. High incidence of multiple chronic health issues, and a large drug and alcohol dependency issue. As the police say, it's a hard drinking area, isn't it? And there's a lot of drug running as well on the streets, which is very clear and in evidence. And high rates of crime and antisocial behaviour, but, and this is a big but, it's a really well-networked community. And if anyone pinches a bike, straight away there's someone on Facebook saying I saw him riding past just now. I've got very involved with the Denton South Partnership and the Denton South Neighbourhood Plan. The Neighbourhood Plan is about taking responsibility as a community for the assets in your area, and it's the first one in Tameside to apply for this. So just to explain to John really where it is, if that's the centre of Manchester, there's Haughton Green, which is part of the Denton South ward, and no trains, no trams, 70 minutes into Manchester, 90 minutes if it's in rush hour and you're trying to drive. And where we are now is just there, and that might as well be the other side of the city, because you've got a river that runs So all the ABCD challenges seem to be geographic. You've got a river that runs 3/4 round, the canal there, the railway line there. You've got the main Denton to Stockport Road here. There's one road in and out of Haughton Green, and then there's a sort of road that allows people to move around in the area. That makes it quite an isolated community. And interestingly, even though Hyde is here, where do people go shopping? Where do people go for services? They go to Denton. So as an organisation that's straddling the two, you've got quite a challenge on. And I really want to see if we can get the PPG in Haughton Green active again at some stage, because I think they're different communities. Now then, what are the ABC opportunities? Because it's isolated, it's a fantastic community for doing place-based research and development. Absolutely perfect. There's one medical centre only, and all the conversations that we've been having about social prescribing shouldn't be done by the GP, it should be done by and with and through the community, fits exactly with the strategy that we're looking at. As I say, I've talked to the universities about how we could get this interrelationship between action learning in the community, action research, and immediate iterative change, so that you get this virtuous spiral. But first of all, to increase that confidence, the school, and addressing issues of homelessness, which we're currently looking at the moment with an organisation that I've invited to present to the next meeting. Right, this is the big project we're working on. It went a bit quick there, Future Societies project. I'm really interested in information, as I said, and I think that we have got an issue with the fact that all of the interest in information is on big data, and I think that that's where we need to be as well. Relevant information that's in the context of the person's life. So it's how you get that information when you've been prescribed with dementia, when you've got issues, so that it's not about the fact that you were working and learning, it's the fact that you're now in the position of patient. So on this scale then, we've got tends towards professionally led, and it's about economies of scale usually. I think there are economies of focus by engaging people in their own care and in their own involvement, and that's about patient-led. So what we've got over here is an environment which encourages learned helplessness. We'll look after you if you get ill, rather than, and of course that's a pathogenic environment. I'm really interested in this bit here, which is about an engagement environment. How do you provide an environment that helps people manage information in their own way? And that's about salutogenesis, that's about well-being, it's about encouraging wellness. Now, if we think about it as this is my information needs, it's information about me and it's information I need. Let's imagine it as a card, like this. And let's say that that's one of a stack of cards. I'm happy to give people copies of these slides as well if that's helpful. So as well as health and social care, we've also got housing and money and leisure and employability and spirituality and people and justice. Now, where my Thursday evening meetings with the IM&T board go is all focused down here. It's all focused on professional silo drilling and bridging such as GM Connect. I think that this bit is about meaning making and relevance in your own personal context. that's the bit that this project's working on. I'm not going to try and explain all the technology behind this, but as I say, I'm willing to share slides, but it's about personal portable services, personal portable data stores, consent management, etc. We're looking at call it time banking on steroids. It's the idea that you can increase liquidity in a community by providing a form of complementary currency. And then there's the big bit on iSpace Navigator. And these are some of the slides. This is the final slide. It's one that I sent over to the States. And as you can see, there's a US cluster, there's a Haughton Green cluster. So we really are trying to take this very seriously. If we get the support, I think it's going to be quite important.
Right. Thanks very much, David. We're running a little bit late, so if you've got any questions you want to ask David, if we can leave them to the 15 minutes we're going to have at the end, that'd be great. Okay, thank you.
I think that's fabulous, David. That looks very exciting, and I would completely agree with the whole information thing. That channel, and that's one of the practice management frustrations as well. Yeah. Data and focusing in this area that doesn't match anything else that's going on, and you end up with skewed data and you're chasing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Great, thank you.